What's up, everyone? Krydex here, and welcome back to pyanodon's Season 3. We are getting quenchy with it. We're going to be quenching all kinds of tar here. I'm very excited. All right. So I'm thinking a 5-2 for each of these bad boys, maybe. And we'll start with 3 chunks. It looks like I don't have tier 2 quenching towers in the other mall. Quench. 4. No problem. Yeah, so that'll be that. And then tower. Okay, so we're gonna end up with a lot of crap here. Wait, I just did this wrong. There we go. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. We just have time this morning for coffee and pie and chill. And I'm very happy about that. Oop. I got nowhere to be. I got nothing to do. Just pure pyanodons. At least for a little while. I'm probably going to record like 2 or 3 episodes in a row here. So I'm going to try to not go super long because when I do an hour and a half, I'm like, I literally could have done 2 episodes in that time. So, you know, I've said this before, and you know that I'm really bad at it, but I'm gonna try to be a little better today about that. Okay, and now we need the inline for water. Let's see. I guess we'll do it this way. Okay. And we need the speed modules. Then we need, oh yeah, the other fluids. I'm not paying any attention. Alright. Bing boom, bing boom. I'm still freaking out about the Shift Alt scroll. Did you get, like, that's gotta be a mod, right? If that's in vanilla, I will freak the flip out. Like, I will blow my lid and gasket and top all at once. Because that would be crazy if that's in vanilla. I'm pretty sure it's a mod. Uh-oh. Which beacon? Oh, this one. This guy's gotta move over here because he's too close. He's affecting the quench. It's not the quenchiest. It's the quenchiest. Alright. If you get that reference, you'll be very happy I made it, because I'm sure you're thinking it too. Saying the word quench this often. Oh man, and on that note, and now I'm going to tell you what the reference is. The Avatar The Last Airbender set had Quench with Sokka saying that line. Oh, it was perfect. That was such a good reference. I'm not the biggest fan of the Universes Beyond stuff in Magic the Gathering, but I think they've done a good job with, I think, some of the most popular ones, which is kind of a chicken and egg situation. Like, I think they did a good job with Lord of the Rings, I think they did a good job with Final Fantasy, and I think they did a good job with Avatar. And those are about the only ones I feel that way about, and I think there's a reason those have been some of the most popular Universes Beyond sets. That's totally unrelated to pyanodons, but I know a lot of my Factorio peeps are also Magic the Gathering peeps, so I figure I can ramble about Magic the Gathering for a minute. I think we need a lot of water, right? I haven't actually looked, but I'm just assuming we need a crazy amount. 11k. Yes, we need a lot. In fact, we need enough that I probably should employ tier 2 pump jacks. which I don't normally do. And control alt scroll doesn't work because they're, well, but it works for roboports. Oh, it's shift alt, that's why it wasn't working. Oh my gosh. It goes to all sorts of different buildings. Oh, it's going to Mark 1 buildings instead of Mark 2. I don't know what this feature is, but it's like looking within, I think it's looking and grabbing other buildings in this category. Interesting. I wonder how it decides what category is the matching one. Because for belts, it's not grabbing other types of tier 1 belts. It's grabbing, oh, I guess it is grabbing all of them. But it is grabbing the other tiers as well. I'm guessing there is a, like a recipe subgroup. Yeah, that's it, the recipe subgroup. So whatever mod is doing this thing, and I still think it's a mod. If it's vanilla, I'm gonna go bonkers. Whatever is doing this is looking at the recipe subgroup, and you can see recipe-belt is what all of these go in. So if every single one of these had a recipe subgroup somehow, then they could all be linked. But that would be kind of insane, probably, for each one to have its own recipe subgroup. All right. So those are each 600 a piece. Obviously, we're going to do a beacon to speed that up because that's 2.6K. And we can do a, whatever this is, beacon. And then that brings us to 3.36K. 4.13K. Getting there. Am I reading that correct? Yeah, that'll hit even more. All right. All the water. And then okay. Should do it. 15.6 thousand watt. There you go. Actually, I'll keep that on 2 and I'll go with a couple less. Please. Because they're not free. They need SAM and mech parts too and stuff, but I guess they're not that expensive these days. 5 circuits, that's not nothing. Or that is nothing, what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that's water, and then we connect that down, and then the tar will be here soon, and then we'll be a quenching. Getting 45 soot a second. Wow. Okay. Move that down there. No? Oh, the 2-2. This thing keeps causing problems, don't it? Alright. So that's all good. Connect up the tar in a second. So then we've got tailings, flue gas, and saline water. So we're gonna need some serious storage for those. Definitely want enough space here to store a ton of each of those. And then I think what I'll do is I'll pump into these and then I'll pump out of these into the respective ones. So that way I don't have to wire all those up and everything correctly. So the saline, I guess we need to get these properly. Waste. And then fix the last one. Okay. Turn, corner, corner. And what's this one? This one is the same. Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but. So this will be saline water. This will be I don't know which one's which. Doesn't matter. And then we will pump out of each of these. And then what I'll probably do is hook up the same one on each of these to one pump. I guess something like this. And then is this gonna work? This might work. This is one of the few spots where I could actually use the four-way junction, which I never do. I really never do. Yeah, we don't have enough tiles here. We'll figure out a way. Life finds a way. Yeah, this will do it. Okay. So that's that. Get some light over here. Lamp over here. Connect up the tar. And there we go. We quenching. We quenching. All right. And for whatever reason, the flue gas isn't, or something's not connected. What am I getting stuck? Oh, there's a rock here. I got stuck on that multiple times. Maybe. Oh, there's just not a long enough pipe. These blue pipes make me think they're infinite. Okay, so there's that, and then we're also gonna need some overflow protection. I could use a pump, because this is gonna overflow at 9. We're gonna waste 100,000 of storage by using overflow. So maybe I just use a circuited pump. And then I say if anything's greater than 249,000. That might be a little too full for the flow rate though, that's the problem. So maybe we go like 245,000. It would be 225,000 if I was using a 90%er. Even then, I wonder if the flow rate is going to be too small. I guess we'll see. Saline water needs a sinkhole, tailings needs a sinkhole, and flue gas needs a vent. That should do it. And now we've got insane amounts of these resources, and we'll go at priority 10 because these are essentially free as long as I ever need gold. And there's a world where I just can even burn gold to keep these resources flowing if we want to, because this is now probably my best source of these resources. Okay, and now all we have left is some gold plate sorting, which is pretty fast. It's 10 per 4 seconds, which is really 10 per 2 seconds. So I don't even know how many of these we need. Can I do this in here? If I have a beacon? Yeah, pretty much. Why didn't I leave room over here? Well, that's kind of in the way, but maybe I'll do it over here. Because we're gonna probably do loaders. And then we do get some ash we need to get rid of. Okay, so we would bring in 2 belts, 2 red belts, and then if we do go with a beacon, because we can't prod this, how fast does each one of these get? 16.2 apiece. Okay, perfect. So then I can do splitter. I don't really know what I'm doing here. That goes into there. No. Yes. Wait, what? 30 items a second goes to 2 15s. So I can't just do this. Yeah, no, this works. Okay, sorry. Had a momentary loss of ability to function. Okay. So that goes there. And then we've got another one of these out here from the other red belt. I just love that I can do that. That's blowing my mind still. So the 4-1, yeah, the 1-1 is going to be an issue here. If I want that to be a 4-1. So is the 2-2. Maybe I just, wait, the 2-2 is already affecting us, so I just let it happen. It should be fine. Okay, and then finally, we've got all of the outputs can go on a single belt, I think. Here. And then we need flue gas, which goes into a... Sorry, ash to turn into flue gas. Goes into a what? What's that? It's in a gas refinery. Ooh! Look at how big these are. These are chunky boys. Hunky boys indeed. Alright, pressure. Enough pressure. Alright. There. I don't even know how fast that needs to go, but I assume that's fast enough. Yes. And then this is gold. 24 karat. Gold. Out. And then I guess we need a provider. Bulk provider? Sure, we'll let it buffer. We'll let it buffer big time. Why not? Okay, and then this turn. Soot. I need coffee, man. I have not been drinking enough coffee. Hold, please, while your coffee is reached. Oh, coffee's so good. It's like a warm friend in the morning. Y'all, we're making gold. I think this was the easier method. I very much think this was the easier method. What's up with the imbalance here? You guys seeing this? Why is this building running in this? Oh, no, never mind. I think we found the answer. Oh, yep. I very much found the answer. You know, that is kind of funny. I sort of thought about this, and then my brain dismissed it. I was like, no, but they're reflected. It's like, yeah, exactly, they're reflected. You gotta reflect the order of the doodads. Well, that should fix that, I think. Now, there were some YouTube comments we got. There was a YouTube comment about the nuclear thing, which I already fixed. I had forgotten to move a pipe for this guy down, so that's fixed. I have no idea if nuclear stuff is working correctly, but these are running, so I'm gonna trust that it is. There was a comment about, you know, I'm just gonna have to open YouTube, I don't remember. What did it say? It said... blocked your sulfuric acid pipe, Cobladix, telling me this one. QA tester number 17. By placing a new pipe in the space for industrial solvent. Where do I have solvent and sulfuric? Is that over here that we're talking? Maybe. This looks okay to me, but then again, and you are very small. And tailings is not getting processed by them. Having concentrates backed up. Because having water concentrates backed up. Concentrate 3's backed up because tailings is not getting voided. Really? How do I forget stuff like this? I swear. Like, what? How did I really not do an overflow for tailings again? How many times has this happened? Y'all, I swear, this is crazy town. I feel very dumb. Alright. I've only done that 100 times. Anyway, back to this. I'm not 100% sure this is even the specific spot. Finished carbon rocks, and yeah, this is probably the video. I placed a vertical one. Sideways by 608, you place the vertical one out of the tank. Oh. So I think this is a misunderstanding. Kobladix, I totally understand. You thought this connection was important. It's not. I connected out of this part of the sulfuric. Because this sulfuric is actually related to the input sulfuric. That's coming from down here. It's just that the connection on this side just happened to exist. I could just delete this one and this one. Because those are not getting used. Because that sulfuric's actually the output sulfuric from like this byproduct that I was utilizing. But good spot. That definitely, I can see how that looked problematic. I think in this case it's fine. Or I'm still missing something. Let me know if I'm still missing something. But yeah, gold be running. So now we just need more tar. Holy crap, I already got 1,000,000 tailings. That's insane. Oh my gosh. Did these switch? Did they? These switched on me, right? But that doesn't seem possible that these would switch on me. How? I would not have put... I'm so confused. Still, I can't believe we have this many tailings that fast. Well, yeah, we essentially, as long as we need gold, we have infinite of anything that tailings makes. Heck, I could even make my nexlet from tailings at this point. Like, actually. Is that crazy? How much raw nexlet a second am I going through? I'm only going through 2 or 3 a second. This should be 1,000 tailings a second. That's nothing compared to what I'm making. So I legitimately could make my nexlet from tailings. Okay, so we've got this one, and where's the other one? All the way over here. Okay, so then that needs to go. You know, I'm gonna have it go vertical, and then turn a corner up here, so that we're less likely to run into issues with this. And then this one, I'm gonna do the same thing. It's gonna come up, T-junction, and then we're gonna come over, and then that will, let's see, I guess this could be a T-junction here, L-junction, and extension. And that should connect all 3 tar extractors, which is only about 6k tar a second right now, but once we get to tier 3 module, or sorry, tier 2 modules, that should Or was it tier 3 buildings? Or both. Either way, once we have both of those, we'll be at 12k a second, which is... I think this is enough gold for now anyway. I think this is enough gold for now. Definitely enough to handle. It looks like my bottleneck right now would be tar processing, so as I get more tar, we'll need more. Yeah, so that's 0.4, 0.74, and 1.09 gold plates a second. Why are these different? Why is that 1.7k? Oh, we're missing the modules in the building. There we go. I was like, those three should be exactly the same in terms of the effect they have. Yeah, now they are. Okay. So with that much tar, and then these guys, and then these guys. Yeah, we have about half as much tar as we need to make 1.19 gold plates a second, 6k tailings a second, 1.8k flue gas, 3k saline water. And only for 320 megawatts, I guess, plus beacons are not the cheapest. Speaking of power, I haven't done a power extension in a while. Let's work on a little bit of power here. So what I'm gonna do here is actually a power block. And what we're gonna do is have I'm gonna need to figure out a system that I can copy paste. For now, I will start with this being the basic building block. And then we're gonna plop that with a couple tiles of empty space next to a rail. And then from there, on the end of it, we're gonna have two. I got plenty of room for two power plants. You know, I'm gonna wait a few minutes on that one. I think we'll wait for the bots to do their thing. Oh, by the way, we've got some new explored territory with our radars, our megadars. Wow, look at what the megadar uncovered. So many resources out here. Not that I need them, but it's enticing to look at. It's also a good reminder that we have infinite raw resources, and I should consider raw resources to be basically free. I really shouldn't worry too much about efficiency, especially as trains get faster. Like, even transporting ore is a bit more feasible. So, like, maybe I have a worse copper recipe. Who cares? We can mine all the copper we want, you know? It's only the things where mining the resource costs resources where we have to be a little bit more worried. Or worried isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. Here's a 94 million iron, by the way. I guess the iron is one thing we've thought about potentially running out sometimes. And we've thought about using iron to make stone. I forget. Oh yeah, making sticks. So yeah, there's a chance we go out to one of these patches and we just make stone from it, because stone is actually the more limited resource. But here's a good one, 54 million. Nice, that'll last a long time. And we got another one up there at 36 million, and no new ones up here. Yeah, stone is weird. The patches are pretty small, so that can be problematic. So that 54 million is going to be a big deal. I'm actually going to preemptively, I know my bots are really mad at me, but I'm going to preemptively make a move towards that stone. I'm only going to do that one move for now, because my bots are very mad at me, as we said. All right, so gold chain is done. I can't believe it. Pick research turd. Okay, what are the research turds? I don't even think I looked at them. Oh no, we did. Okay, I don't know which one we wanted. Never mind. Arcad. I know a lot of people go for Colony Collapse, which is this one. It gives you a lower chance for a queen back, but it gives you way more wax from used combs. Gives you the ability to make tons of lubricant from wax. I think this becomes a wax positive loop even. Because 150 wax would become 12 empty combs. Yeah, so you can just generate wax from empty combs, and then you turn the empty combs into filled combs. And then, so basically by using bitumen or just the natural Arcad process, you're generating tons of wax. I don't know about tons. I don't know how fast we could actually make it work, but that's certainly part of the colony collapse. And then you can also generate way more honey. You triple your honey output, which is pretty big deal. At the cost of 5 times more queen usage. It seems like a decent upgrade just because queen generation is not that hard. Like, the queen generation part of my Arcad chain is not that big. Like, I think these ones, yeah, these are the ones generating queens for the rest of the process. So it's like we've got like 20 buildings and we only needed 1.2 of them to generate queens. So using 5 times as many queens just means this part's 5 times bigger, but I get all the other benefits. Unless I'm missing something. Let me know if I'm missing something in the comments. I'm not like super deep diving on that, but I'm pretty sure that that's all that's happening here. Am I not reading close enough? It's the same amount of gas, honey, Arcad Queen, Arcads, Red Hot Coke, yada yada. This one's the same. Yeah, we just use 0.005 instead of 001 queens per recipe, which uses 5 times more queens in terms of consumption. I'm not seeing any other differences. The CAGs, climate adaptive glass shells, allow for 5% prod, and that's it. Which doesn't sound like much, but just a reminder what prod for the Vrauks did, it was a pretty huge bonus. Because prod for apiaries would give you more nests, which gives you more arcads. Probably gives you, I guess maggots come from the Vrauks. It would also give you more eggs. I don't know about more queens, maybe more queens. I assume it doesn't give you more queens back because that's like a catalyst situation. Gives you more honeycombs? Maybe? Is that affected by prod? Honeycomb. Is that affected by prod? It is. So we would end up with excess honeycombs, which is kind of cool. So we'd actually have to melt down the extra empty honeycombs. So we get some free wax from that loop. Because currently it's wax neutral honeycomb part, and the regular comb part is wax negative, I think. Huh. But I'm making wax from the honey barrels. Right. So many weird options. I wonder if that does prod. It does. I would generate barrels from nothing, assuming that's not classified as a catalyst in the recipe. Which it very well might be, because it's barrels, but interesting. So CAGs is kind of your default, like, decent choice. And then there's direct queen assembly, which I don't understand the need for. Maybe in the beginning of the game this would be good. Maybe later you need a lot of Arcad Queens? Are they used? No, they're not used for anything else. So, also nitrogen contaminants, very easy to make, so I'm ignoring that. I mean, it feels like colony collapse is the answer, right? Because let's design. First of all, where am I at with Arcads? We are at stage 2. Well, we will soon be at stage 2, which gives us recipe 3 for the eggs and Arcads and recipe 2 for everything else. Uh-oh. What? I can make oh, wait, Arcad jelly. Sorry, that's a new a new resource. Recipe, research, resource. All came into my head at the same time. Are there any other industrial processes that I'm forgetting about, or is it time to pivot towards flora and fauna in the chem sci world? I think it's time to pivot. What else we missing here? I'm skipping raw coal, drill heads, I'm skipping for now. I do need to research this eventually, but not yet, and I just don't think I'm doing any of these anytime soon. Actually, this one could be good for ref syngas. What are the other ways I'm making ref syngas right now? The other ways I'm making ref syngas is... it's this one, which I get the fluid version of soon, but right now I'm doing the canister version, which is the same thing. Methanol and syngas. And I can make syngas for free from coke oven gas in essentially whatever quantities I want by just doing the coke oven from raw coal thing. So like that feels very cheap. We also get a lot of flue gas from that. Which is, that's a non-zero amount of ash, right? Like 1K flue gas is 20 ash. So if I need to generate ash from nothing, I'm actually wondering, okay, this is crazy. You know how we made ash generation up here with boilers with this thing? This is my way to make ash, which we're actually running out of. Why is this priority 10? Is this meant to consume raw coal? Oh, those are the trashers for coke and coal dust. So why is this priority 10? I'm gonna make that priority 0. Wait, it's priority 10. Wait. I think I've done a whoopsie. This is supposed to... it turns on trashing if we have over 50K. But we only want to be run... Please tell me I'm stopping these at some point. I don't think I am. I feel like I've done a big whoopsie. Shouldn't this belt stop running if... something feels off here. I don't know. I don't know what I did, but I feel like I screwed up somehow. So I'm gonna wire this up, and I only want this belt to run if ash is less than 42,000. And that way we're not putting so much ash in here that we just throw it in the trash anyway. Because that's what was happening. Because we were turning this onto channel 2, as soon as we got to 50k ash. So I don't really know what was going on there, but that's a nice 30 ash that we've got generating. Anyway, that's unrelated to what I was just thinking, which is a side idea from a side idea, which is about generating ash from nothing. Is it easier to make ash from a bunch of boilers, or is it easier to make ash from flue gas from coke oven gas? These questions will haunt me if I don't answer them. Because that coke oven gas generates a lot of flue gas. So we gotta find it. Assume it's there we go. And then the coke oven gas comes from this one. And no prod, that's fine. So I think the short answer is no. I mean, we can also burn the coke, but we only get 4 ash from 10 raw coal. So I think what would be easier, I guess the question is how much space does all this take? Because we've also got 4 coke that we need to turn into ash as well. Which I imagine the best way to do that is boilers still. So we're using boilers either way. This is taking longer and longer, and that's freaking me out because we still have a lot of pyanodons left, and we're gonna get to the point where that's gonna take like 5 minutes. Where's the boiler at? Oh, we're gonna do steam. And then we change the, oh, wait, no, that's fine. Change the style, change the fuel, change that to be the resource we're consuming. So we need 5.4 boilers. And now we're generating 8 ash from 10 raw coal. And let's just assume kind of some amount of beaconage to see how much space that really saves us. Oops. I have to do this, this, this. Okay. These cannot have beacons. That's a farce. At least I think it's a farce. I thought Helmod was better at noticing that, but surely these can't be affected by beacons, right? Right, folks? Yeah. PRCE thinks that it's not affected by a beacon. I trust PRCE and my intuition to say that that's not going to work. I already know why these trains are stuck. It's because I never configured the filters. Because I was waiting to see which fluid went in which spot, and then I never kind of finished that train of thought. Fine. Alright. So, construction bots for landfill is going slowly. I think this is a good moment for me to add some more bots into the network. They're very expensive, but once in a while I can add a couple hundred and not worry about it, I think. And then back to what I was doing. The other option would just be to do boilers, period. And change the fuel to raw coal. And that's it. Yeah, I think that's just the better way to do it. Now, I mean, one of them you get free syngas. So in that sense, it's a strong recipe. I'd rather have 20 syngas than 2 ash on balance. So like in that sense, it's kind of cool. And this is a 2-1-2 ratio. So I'm sure there's a cool way to build this that works out nicely. But I don't think you can turn syngas into flue gas or ash very easily. Syngas by itself doesn't tend to do a ton. if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I don't think... Okay, anyway. That was just a little thought experiment. Go back to bots. Let's add... Uh-oh. Channel 1. Did I want it to be this way? I'm not sure if that was supposed to be that way. Did I want channel 0 logistics bots? I think I did so that I could request them at the source and then change it to channel 1, but now that I have tier 2 bots, I'm using those. So I think that can switch over forever. And those are on channel 0. Either way, we're gonna add some new bots in. Let's just find a channel 0, and I'm gonna go down to 150 in my inventory. So we now have 757 bots in the network. Glorious. We should have no tier 1 bots anymore. Where is this guy? Is he highlighted in a way I can find him on the map? Probably not easily. I'm sure he's highlighted, but how am I supposed to find him in this mess? How is there one construction Pinobot one? How's that even possible? I'm so curious about that. Well, we're just gonna take that condition off. He's waiting. If this guy ever arrives here, he will be taken out of the network and immediately put into processing. All right, so anyway, back to what we were doing with the arcade CAGs, and then I think we need to be done with the episode because, like I said, we're not going to do... In fact, maybe we should just start the new episode. I don't know. I hate having to stop. That's the problem. So we're gonna go with... Do I want to go with the Yadel's recipe anyway? I feel like Yadel's are pretty cheap. So 7.5 from 2 nests, and that would be equivalent to... And this is 12 from 3 nests, which is a much better ratio. Also cheaper on the other fronts, which I don't really care about. Those are all pretty cheap. So depending on the Yadel cost, we may nix this, but I'm guessing it should be fine. I mean, 0.042 Yadels, I think, is pretty cheap. Yeah, it's 2 Yadel farms at tier 1 everything. Yep, okay. I'm gonna say that's cheap. So not to worry about that. And then this guy, tier 2, does need arcade jelly. Let's ignore that for a minute. I want to imagine a very similar build, but with colony collapse instead, and see how different it is. Is kind of what I'm going for here. Because, like, this build is 0.229 arcades, a tiny amount of extra queens, basically 0, and everything else is zeroed out, with 10 arcade honey out. Okay. So I want to make a similar structured block here. You know, I maybe should just copy this and paste it in here. And then from here, I can switch to the colony collapse egg recipe and see how it changes things. This is a better way to do it. All right. I don't actually know which one we're doing right now. The one with relations. Okay, so that would be this one for the colony collapse. So that changes the queen to be 4 a minute instead of... Wait, what? Wait, where does the colony collapse happen? 4.015, 4.011. Oh, so the difference is 0.009. But it's really 0.004, and I'm doubling that. I'm making twice as many queens as I need. This one would consume 4.015 to 3.995. That's 0.020. So this would actually need to produce 0.020. Let's go down to like 110% of what we need. And it's like twice as much as I had before. It's 5 times as much, but I already had double because I wanted to build up a stockpile of queens. So this is really cheap. You do use a couple nests for that, but 0.037 nests when I'm going through 12 a minute for other purposes. So this means you need about 1/6 of your nests for queens, but that's with the current recipe. I guess the queen recipe never gets better. And weirdly, because this recipe gets better on nests, you're actually going to be using a larger percentage of your nests on queens. But that's also maybe not true because the ratio of eggs gets better per queen. Like when we go up to the recipe 3, we now get 25 eggs per recipe that consumes some queen instead of 15. And then those eggs make more... No, they'll make the same amount of maggots, but the maggots will make more arc... No, that ratio is the same. Why would you switch this one again? Just for speed's sake? I guess that's for speed's sake, yeah. Because the maggots and the Vraux are the expensive part, and that's the same ratio. So there's no point there to switch, unless you need the speed. Technically, you use less Arcad honey. But 5 barrels of jelly doesn't quite seem worth that. Oh, wait, no, it uses a whole empty comb less. So you save a comb. Use half as many combs on the nest portion. Is that a significant part of the comb economy? What? That sentence has to be one of my favorite sentences I've used recently. Is that a significant part of the comb economy? And we're talking honeycombs here. It actually is. In fact, it exactly matches. Those are the extra combs that... Wait. This is not recycling used combs. I haven't factored in used comb recycling. Why did I not factor that in here? Some percentage is coming back from these. Why did I not put this in? I don't know. About 71% of my wax comes from those used combs. Okay, so anyway, the used comb economy is about 0.3. So the spending of empty combs we get back a used comb. How does this work? Wow, there's a lot of things. Oh, wait, I want product. There we go. It's like there's a lot of things with Arcad in the product. Okay, so we get 1 used comb back from 2 nests there. We get, oh, I see. I get screwed over on the return of used comb as well. So that ratio gets worse. Because now I'm going 2 nests to a used comb. This goes 3 nests to still just 1 used comb. which is a worse ratio. But the nest themselves is going from 1 to 2 nest per comb. So I think I win on that exchange if I do both at the same time. Otherwise, we end up using even more empty combs to still just get 1 used comb, which means more input combs. I'm not massively worried about the input combs, but I am curious, how bad is it to make the arcad jelly? That we need. If we did that instead. I mean, really, I should just do this in the next episode. So we'll dive in a bit more to arcads in the next episode. It looks like our bots are finally getting some things built up here, so we'll keep expanding this in the coming episodes. There's a lot of landfill needing to get plopped down, so I hope we're not out of landfill. They would tell me if I was out of landfill, right? I think they would. Yeah, I think it's just taking time because the bots have to come build the landfill 1 piece at a time before the next bot can build the building, and that's what's going on over here too. Like, all the landfill is coming. It's just taking a while. Actually, wait, what? I guess you can't see the landfill squares underneath. Yeah, it is there. You just can't see it. Okay. Because it's underneath the power pole. All right, well, I'm going to call it an episode there. I'm happy with our gold generation machine. Literally printing gold out of nothing. And it stopped because of what? Oh. I'm silly. You know, I should just hook this up to the same flue gas. Hold on. It's not anywhere near as much flue gas, but I might as well attach it. No reason not to. 3 pipes. Okay, so that fixes that. Gold generation is online. And yeah, with that, I will call it. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.